Hi everyone!
Hi everyone, welcome to the stream.
Welcome to our stream, yes. I think introductions are in order.
Absolutely. So for the students that don't know us, I'm Sophia.
And this is Aaron.
We work at Bologna Mille. I am originally from London, but I live in Bologna. I have lived in Bologna for 4 years, and I have worked at MyS Bologna Mille for almost 2 years now.
Wow. I'm from Cork, Ireland. I was born there and I've been living in Bologna for about 3 years, and I've been working at my English school for 2.5 years. Actually 4 years in Bologna now.
Oh, nice.
I really like the city anyway. So welcome to our stream. If you're just joining us, please tell us, introduce yourselves in the comments and tell us about what card games did you play growing up and which do you play now?
Wonderful, yes. So what card games did you play growing up, Aaron?
Well, so considering that my family, I have an Italian side of the family and an Irish side of the family, there were two big games growing up. From the Italian side, there was the classic briscola.
Okay.
I used to play briscola with my grandpa. We used to play, and my grandma. We used to play at, my grandparents' house. And on my Irish side, we used to play a game called Sevens.
I don't know this game.
I've
never heard this game.
So, very fun game.
What happens in Sevens?
In Sevens, you have, you divide up the deck, the classic poker card deck, and you start with the 7 of each suit. Okay. And each person in turn needs to put down a card, and they need to be in order. So if there's a 7, you can put an 8 or a 6.
Okay, this sounds similar to other games that I've played as well. Okay. That sounds cool.
Nice.
Do you play any games now?
Card games? No, not really. When I was younger, in middle school, I used to play Magic: The Gathering, which was a great card game.
Okay, but is it a traditional card game, or it's more like a board?
No, it's you collect the cards, you make your own deck, and
all right, it's fun. Cool.
Game. What about you, Sophia?
Well, when I was a child, I used to play cards a lot, especially in the summer holidays with my friends and my cousins. We played card games all day, every day. And a lot of these card games were very simple children's card games like Go Fish.
Go Fish, great card game.
There is a card game called, well, we also invented a lot of card games with my sisters and my cousins. We invented card games. So we had a card game called Speedo, where you have to put the cards in categories.
This is your creation.
We invented this game. It's called Speedo, and you had to put the cards into groups and be the first one to finish all your cards. And it's completely invented, and it's hilarious. Yeah. But my problem is that I keep forgetting how to play card games, so I actually don't remember anymore how we played Speedo. I will ask my sisters, I'm sure they remember.
And is there a reason why it was called Speedo?
Well, because you had to be fast. You had to be the first person to finish. The game is very, very quick.
I thought it had something to do with Speedos.
Oh no connection with Speedos.
Do you want to explain to our viewers what Speedos are?
I don't know. You brought it up. You can explain what Speedos are.
Speedos are a type of swimsuit.
Yeah.
For men, and it's just the underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should be used in swimming pools. Some people like to wear them at the beach. We prefer trunks at the beach.
Anyway, if you're just joining us, welcome to the stream.
Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Your question is here. What card games did you play growing up?
Yes, and which ones do you play now? Maybe with your friends, or maybe when you were growing up with your grandparents, with your parents. I don't know. Nice. It was always my grandparents we used to play cards with.
Yeah.
Were there any other games you played, maybe board games or?
I think we played various ones. When I came to Italy, I learned 2 Italian card games. I learned Scala 40 and Scolta, which I played a lot, but I never learned Briscola. which I think is very strange because I'm in Italy for 4 years. I still haven't learned briscola, so well, we have time. Maybe you can teach me in this period. All right.
Yes, welcome to the stream. If you're just joining us, please introduce yourself in the comments and tell us what card games did you play growing up and which do you play now? Another card game? No, maybe with no, not really. Oh, yes, we used to play Uno.
Oh, Uno, of course. Uno is
fantastic.
fantastic.
Game,
Uno is competitive.
Very
it's a competitive card game.
Competitive.
Yeah, absolutely. Played a lot of Uno.
Yeah, my brother is very competitive and he hates losing. So, well, he used to hate losing. So
now he got used to it.
He's gotten used to it now. Right. Hi, Valentina.
Hi, Valentina Mondini. It's good to see you. And hi, Julia, as well. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us.
Shall we look at our focus?
Why not?
All right, let's do it. So today we will continue to talk about cards, and we have on the cards is our focus for today. So let's have a look at what we will do in this activity. We have, do you want to read?
Yeah, protecting your identity, card idioms and phrases for suggesting. This is why we were talking about cards.
We'll start with our card idioms. Oh no, we'll start with some questions. We're going to talk about our wallets. A wallet, or if you are in the UK and you are female, you call it your purse. For me, it is not my wallet, it is my purse. But in America, a purse is a bag. Hi, Sergio, nice to see you again. Valentina has a nice answer. Let's bring this up. She says, I love put ing there, Valentina. I love playing card games with my grandmother. I grew up playing briscola.
Excellent. An absolute classic.
Let me put up what we said about purse. So
in the UK, a purse is a wallet, but for women. It's usually bigger than what we would have as men. The one in the picture I would call a wallet.
Exactly.
While in America, it's a bag, apparently.
Yes, it's a bag, again, for women, which I cannot spell.
Excellent.
Very nice.
Yeah. So for the UK, it's a wallet for women, and in the US, it's a bag for women. So would it be a small bag, a big bag?
It can be any size. Apparently, it can be big as well. Yeah, it's just what we would call the handbag. In British English.
You learn something new every day.
So do you need to carry a lot of cards? Why or why not? I don't carry a lot of cards with me because I'm trying to be careful, and I have in my wallet always the minimum of what I need. So my bank card, maybe a couple of loyalty cards, so fidelity cards for the supermarket or for a chemist. And that's it. I always have the minimum.
Interesting.
I think I have 6 cards in my wallet.
Please, in the comments, tell us what cards do you carry in your wallet? How many are there and what are they?
Write for us also the card numbers and the pins, please.
Yes, so the credit card number and the numbers on the back.
And your full name. We're obviously joking. Please do not share any sensitive information on these webinars or anywhere. Thank
you. On the internet.
What about you? How many cards do you
have a lot of cards. I have my ID card, my identity card. I have your codice fiscale, your
fiscal code.
Fiscal code, yes. I have my bank credit card. I have a few loyalty cards.
Nice.
Then what else do I have? There's more. There's more, which I can't think of now.
I don't carry my identity card with me because I grew up in the UK, in England, where it's not necessary to always have an identity card with you. I'm sorry, I got distracted by Julia abandoning us. Sorry, I've already done this lesson. Bye.
Bye, Julia.
Bye, Julia.
Bye, Julia.
So in England, people usually carry their driver's license as ID, but I don't have my driver's license.
There, driver's license. That's in my wallet.
So I don't carry ID with me, and in fact, now in Italy, I have a photocopy of my passport always in my purse, just in case I need to demonstrate who I am.
I suppose it's more common here to have have your ID with you, because a lot more people ask for it. You know. Hi Sole, thanks for joining us.
Hi Sole,
she has her Co-op and Eurospin card.
Really nice, good job. Yes, I have my Esselunga card and my Tigota card as well.
Always handy, always handy.
But what I do is, if, for example, I go on holiday, I go to the UK. If I go to England, for example, before I go, I take my cards out of my wallet and I put in my wallet the cards that I need in the UK. I don't want to carry with me cards that are not necessary, because if my purse gets stolen, for example, I don't want to lose cards that it wasn't necessary to have anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you do the same thing?
Oh, I should, but I never do because I forget, and then I lose cards, and I'm like, no, I'm going to keep everything in my wallet. So again, in in the comments, please tell us what cards you have in your wallet. By the way, Co-op, for your shops and for the Tigota, etc., we would call them loyalty cards.
Yes. Oh, there we go.
Not so much fidelity. I think that's more of an Italian.
Yeah. It's called a loyalty card, or we can say a point card. I think maybe points card, which would be the fidelity card for a supermarket or for a shop.
Yes, so a loyalty card or a points card.
Should we look at the other questions? What kind of information is on those cards? Where and when do you use them? I use my bank card for everything. I am at the point now where most of the time I have no cash in my purse. I only use my card to pay for things when I can go outside. What about you?
Same for me. Recently I've experimented with with my Google Pay, so paying with my phone.
So you pay with your phone now. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel very powerful.
Do you feel like a superhero, like from the future?
I feel like I'm from the future, yes.
Sergio says, I've got more cards than money in my wallet. Good answer.
Excellent. Yeah. Very good answer, Sergio. Very good answer.
It's the same.
More cards than money, yeah.
No, I'm quite slow to catch on to new technology. I don't trust new technology very much, so it will probably take me some time still to be brave enough to use my phone to pay for things.
But I've only ever used my phone if I'm at the automatic cash register, like the self-service.
And
because I feel bad if, for example, I'm at the cash register and there's a lady there waiting for me and it doesn't work and I'm clicking on my phone and she's like looking at me like, why are you wasting my time? Just use a card like a normal person, you know?
Yeah, why do you have to be so fancy using your phone?
So please tell us in the comments, have you ever tried using your phone to pay at a shop?
And do you carry a lot of cards? Do you use them? Do you still use cash? The final question is, what are the advantages and disadvantages of having and using these cards? Well, let's see, we've got Sole says in loyalty cards, what is in loyalty cards there are, I think you mean, Sole, there are points to take free glasses. Like these glasses.
Or glasses,
like glasses to drink, like free drinks. What do you mean? Tell us. I guess the advantages are that you always have money until your account finishes. You always have money. Disadvantages. Well, maybe if they get stolen, other people can use them. You have a big problem to replace them, to block them.
I suppose so, yeah. If they steal cash, and that's it. I suppose the credit card is quite quick to block, but it's hard maybe to if they steal your identity card or your passport or your driving license to get a new one.
It's a big problem. Solar says, I use cash and cards. You mean glasses to drink? You get free glasses to drink from.
Oh yeah, maybe at the co-op, if you have enough points, you get a set of glasses.
Yeah. All right.
Really
nice job, guys. Shall we go on?
Yeah.
Okay, so we will look now at some idioms involving cards. So we have here some idioms. Shall we read them?
Yeah. Okay. To be on the cards.
To put all your cards on the table.
To hold all the cards.
To play your cards right.
To keep your cards close to your chest.
Good. And by chest, we mean this part of our body.
Should we give them the options?
Yeah. Let's have a look. So we have on the other side the possible definitions. So A, to do the correct things to reach a desired result. Do you want to read the next one?
To be likely to happen.
Okay, so likely.
Probable.
Yes, probable or probable to happen. C, not tell anyone what you plan to do.
To have what is needed to control the situation.
And to be honest and open.
Yes, excellent. So in the comments, please tell us which ones you would match. Match the expressions on the
left.
On the left.
Your other left.
Left to the definitions on the right.
On the right, yeah. This is always very confusing.
Yes,
it's
because
mirrored.
we're mirrored. So in the comments, write number and letter. And Valentina says one disadvantage of using a credit card is that you don't realize how much you spend.
That's a very good one, Valentina. A nice use of the verb realize. Excellent work. Yeah, absolutely.
100% agree. Until you get to the end of the month and you're like, how did I finish my month?
How did that happen?
Sorry, you get to halfway through your month.
You get to 3 days after payday and you think, what do I do now? So let's look at these idioms. To be on the cards. Do you know where this comes from?
Yes, but you tell me about it.
So to be on the cards, this, if anybody here is interested in fortune telling, in tarot card reading, this is from reading tarot cards. If it's on the cards, maybe you go to somebody and they use the cards to tell you your future. So on the cards is connected to tarot reading. And
Sergio gives us an answer here,
yes,
1B.
And I think it is the correct answer. So
yes.
To be on the cards is to something that is likely, that is probable to happen. Again, connected to tarot card reading. Yes, nice job, guys. To put all your cards on the table. So here we're talking about poker. A very famous card game which I tried to play once.
Yeah.
Do you know how to play poker?
Yes, again, I've only tried to play once.
It was very low stakes.
Oh yeah, we're only playing cents, I think.
Yeah.
Ooh, another game that I played growing up, Pontoon. Pontoon is what we call 21 or blackjack.
Oh, okay, excellent. Yeah, blackjack I played as well. I think I prefer blackjack to poker.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I suppose there's less it's less sophisticated.
Oh yeah, definitely. So to put your cards on the table, people are saying to be honest and open, and I think you are all absolutely right. Very good.
Yes, very good.
So it's referring to the end of the poker game where you reveal all your cards. You put them open on the table, so you show.
There are no more secrets.
Exactly. 3, what do we think? To hold all the cards.
What does this mean? Okay. Can we use it in an example?
Can we? Again, it's connected to poker. Valentina says 3C. That's one possibility. Maybe if I want to say to someone that,
Oh, you could say if someone has a problem with their apartment, but maybe they didn't sign a contract, you could say there's not much you can do because your owner holds all the cards.
Yeah, that the owner, someone has all the power over a situation, for example. So not quite, Valentina. You're thinking of a similar one, but it's not quite 3C. There's a different one. So to hold all the cards is to have all the power to be able to manipulate a situation.
Let's have a look at number 4.
Okay.
To play your cards right.
Again, well, this could be related to poker, but it could be related to any card game. You have
Could be
cards.
briscola.
It could be briscola. You have the cards in your hand, and you have to play them in a very strategic way to get your desired.
You're literally telling them the exact answer, but well done, Sole. Well done, Sole. It is A, to do things in the correct way to reach a desired result.
I wanted to say to reach your goal, your objective, which is to win, but sorry. Good. We still haven't got an answer for 3, so it's not C. It's a different one. Well, I think by now we can
probably show them.
Yeah, by process of elimination. So 3, to hold all the cards, is to have what is needed to control a situation. So you are in control, you have the power, etc.
So imagine in a poker game, if you have all of the big cards.
Exactly. Right? Like maybe you have, I think it's called a royal flush. So you have all of the
picture cards.
Exactly. In one hand, you hold all of the cards and play your cards right. So you strategically use your cards to win. And that means finally that we have to
most difficult one. You can do this, guys. To keep your cards close to your chest is not tell anyone what you plan to do.
Yeah. So imagine again that you're in a poker game or another card game, and you're holding your cards here very close to you so that other people can't look over and see your cards. You're keeping things a secret.
By the way, these are all expressions that we use. We also use when you're actually playing cards. So this would happen a lot growing up. For example, if we were playing all together with my grandparents, with my mum, with my brother, my grandparents would always tell my brother, keep your cards close to your chest, because my mum always would sneak over and look at his cards.
Yeah, and we can also look at some vocabulary here. We've got to cheat, which is
it's when you're not
to not play by the rules. I would say to not play by the rules.
Yeah, cheat.
So you try to win, but by doing something manipulative or by breaking rules. And I will put also to peek.
This is what I was explaining earlier. So you're, instead of looking at your cards, you...
Right, let me write this. How do you spell secretly? There's one E, right?
Yeah, I think it's like that, yeah.
So to peek is to look secretly. So if Aaron and I are playing our poker game like this and Aaron peeks, he is looking at my cards. All right, shall we, if you have any questions about these idioms, please let us know in the comments and we will go on. Yeah. Let's go on and talk about something different.
Oh, wait, we almost forgot. Wild card.
Oh, we forgot to talk about wild card, yes.
Yes, so wild card.
If we look at the title of this slide, we have the word wild card. So a wild card is if we're talking about an actual pack or deck of cards, we're talking about the card that can be anything you want it to be. Sometimes it's the jolly, sometimes it's another card, and you, the player, decides what value it has or how to use it. This is the wild card. When we talk about a person as a wild card, it means that they are unpredictable, that you're not sure how they will behave or how they will react.
While you can also use wildcard in sports.
Okay,
when you have a tournament or a competition, it's one of the team. It's a team that is that joins the competition, but not because they won a previous step of the competition. Maybe they were chosen randomly from a pool of teams.
Oh, okay. So they participate, but without competing.
Exactly.
Oh, cool.
We have a +4 in an Uno game. No, a wild card in a game of cards. It means it's one of those cards that can take any value of any card. It's like it's a special card.
So like when you're playing, do you have a wild card in briscola? I'm thinking in Scala 40, for example. I think like the ace can be the lowest card or the highest card. You can choose whether to put it at the beginning or at the end. Maybe, I don't know if you have something similar. Shall we go on to talk about identity theft?
Definitely.
So going back to cards, but about our credit cards. What is identity theft? Maybe Aaron, you can explain for us, or a student in the comments can explain for us, what is identity theft? Thinking about the cards in your wallet, about your identity document, etc.
So first of all, let's look at the word theft.
Absolutely, yes.
Theft is a noun, and it's the noun from which thief comes from.
Exactly.
Right? So if you know thief, you should know theft.
Yeah.
So thief is similar to robber, someone who steals, and so theft is stealing something.
Exactly. So theft is the noun. Thief is also the noun.
But it's
thief
a person.
Is the person who carries out, who commits the theft. And our verbs, I'll put our verbs up as well. To steal or to.
With a B.
That's right, with a B. There we go.
Excellent. So identity theft is when someone steals your identity. So maybe it's because they stole your wallet. Maybe they did it online. Sometimes with a virus or with some sort of malware, they can get your credentials, your passwords. So they pretend to be you either online or in person, maybe with a credit card to take your money, to take your information. It's a serious problem.
Yeah, it's a serious problem, and it's a difficult one to prove and to resolve as well.
So please, in the comments, if you know if it's happened to you or someone you know, please tell us the story.
And also tell us what can happen when someone steals your identity. What do identity thieves do? Do you know anyone who's had their identity stolen?
Who's had their identity stolen?
Yeah, who's been a victim of identity theft? Do you know anyone?
No. My dad once got his credit card stolen. He had to block it, but nobody actually stole his identity.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, one of his accounts was hacked, but he closed it quite quickly. It wasn't a big problem. But you tell us in the comments, has it happened to you or maybe to a friend?
Yes, tell us, have you ever been a victim of identity theft, or do you know someone who has? I've had my wallet stolen. The first time I came to Bologna, I had my I left my bag. This is a problem because I came to Bologna from Greece, where people don't steal very much. So I was used to just leaving my bag. And
people don't steal very much in Greece.
No, really? Honestly, I could when I lived in Greece, I would leave my bag and go, and then I would come back. My bag would be there. And I came to Bologna for 2 days. I left my bag in a club. And I came back and it was open, no phone, no purse. And so I blocked my card, but there was no identity theft involved. Sole says...
Sole has a story, yes, that apparently one time someone
used my photos on social. So did they hack
social media?
Yeah. Did someone hack into your account, or did they borrow your photographs from Google?
Maybe, yeah. What is the name when, what do we call it when somebody takes somebody else's pictures and pretends to be them online?
Oh, I think this is called catfishing.
Yes, very good.
Very nice. Good. Let's write this up. So catfishing, when you use somebody else's photographs online, you pretend to be someone else. So how did it happen, Sole? Did they find your password? Did they get into your account? Or did they just sort of download your photos and use them? Okay, so they found them on social media and they used them. And how did you find out about it? How did you discover that this was happening? We'd be curious to know.
Yes.
Yeah. Another thing that I once did, it's quite embarrassing, but I got...
Don't worry, you're on YouTube.
I got scammed once.
Really?
Yeah. I thought I was buying a coat that originally cost 300 euros, and I thought I was getting it for 30 euros. I thought I was getting how much percent is that? 300 to 30. It's like
I have no idea.
I thought I was getting a massive discount on a very expensive code. Turns out it was scammers. And I realized straight away, as soon as I clicked the button to give all of my personal data, I realized that it was a scam. So I cancelled my credit card straight away.
And was this on a? Was it on a site? Was it on a?
It was a site that disappeared after 10 minutes.
Oh no!
I tried to find the site again later, and I couldn't find it. It had just gone. Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so keep telling us in the comments, has this ever happened to you, or to someone else that you know? Where did my question go? I'll leave this up. Let's go on to talk about safety, basically. Do's and don'ts. We're going to practice giving advice, what things you should do and what things you should not do to protect your identity in real life, when you're online, with your passport, your money, different things.
So these are some phrases that you can use. You can use any modal. So you could, you should, must, need to, etc. Can. You could also use you might want to, you shouldn't, you could try, you'd better.
Yeah, you can use your semi-modals as well. Sole has another response. She says, because he sent the friend request to a friend of mine and he didn't know that he was my friend.
Oh no!
So he got caught in a web and you found out. Well, that was lucky though, that you, that was lucky. Good job.
And also, now I'm interested, how did you confront him? Like, did you message him on social media? Like, how did you call him out?
Yeah, that'll be curious. It would be interesting to see, how did the story end?
Yes, we've got the beginning, the middle, we need the
we need the ending, Sole. Don't be shy. So let's try to practice with some modals and some semi-modals, and how can we protect our identity when we are shopping online, when we are using social media.
Well, let's take, for example, the case when you were scammed. I think, what could you have done differently?
I could have realized that you don't get things that cheap in real life. Okay, I should have noticed that the website was not real. I should have noticed that the website wasn't.
It wasn't well.
It wasn't very well set up. Also, they you can have. There are some websites where you can check the safety of certain websites. Okay, and they can tell you. It's a bit like, bless you. It's a bit like when you get a phone call, like a telemarketing call, and you can do a check on Google to see if the telephone number is spam or not. You can do the same thing for websites. So I should have checked to see if the website was authentic or not.
So it's a good idea, if you're buying anything online, to check the website you are buying from. Sole gives us the end of the story. This is amazing.
Fantastic. I told my friend to take his number and I called him. Haha, it was funny. He was a child.
Oh no.
Oh my God, children. That's a really fantastic story.
That's a great story, That's a great story.
Sergio says, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I don't know a victim of identity. Stolen is the past participle, Sergio. Remember before we gave you the noun. Theft is the noun.
Otherwise, you'd say, I don't know anyone whose identity was stolen.
Yeah. So steal, stole, stolen is the verb.
But unfortunately, he said. Fortunately.
Fortunately, yeah, absolutely.
Lucky. Yes.
Yeah, fortunately. One thing for Sole, told, my friend, with told, it's not necessary to use to. There is no preposition with told. I told my friend, not told to. Okay.
This is one of the big differences with say. You say something to someone, but you tell someone something.
Without a preposition. So let's have some more ideas, some more advice.
Please, in the comments, give us advice, what to do or not to do to protect your identity online and offline.
So maybe we can think of some ideas. one that I don't follow this advice, and I should follow this advice, but you shouldn't do payments in public spaces.
Interesting. What do you mean?
Like when you are paying for something online and you are inserting your name and your credit card number, you shouldn't do it in a public space because someone might be peeking at your phone.
Solis says, have different passwords for every social media account.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Sole, could you try and write your sentence again, but try to use the modal verbs that you have on the slide or some semi-modals to make a complete sentence. Okay.
Yes, definitely. Again, this is not something I follow.
No, me neither, because I have a terrible memory. I think I have 2 passwords and I just alternate between them, which I shouldn't say on YouTube.
Oh dear.
Oh my god, we're gonna get hacked today.
We're gonna get hacked today.
If they're not hacking us as we speak.
Yeah, it's very difficult to remember all of the passwords then, you know, because then some people offer a service where you can put all of your passwords there, protected by another password. But then if they hack that, then they have all of the passwords. So
yeah, like Google can save all your passwords for different sites as well. But then
if they hack Google, then
also if you delete your history, it also deletes those. Like if you delete cookies. Lisa's doing her little detective side. She's watching.
Lisa might hack us later.
Yeah. Good. So you'd better have different passwords for every social media account. Yes, you'd better have.
With modals, we just use the bare infinitive.
Yeah, no like, 2 necessary with modals and semi-modals.
But well done, you used the one of the other expressions.
You better have different passports.
Yeah, and obviously, if with your personal belongings, you should always keep your bag with you. You shouldn't leave your bag unattended in a club.
Yeah. Okay. Solis says, Lisa. It says, you'd better change your passwords. How am I going to remember them, Lisa? How am I going to remember them? Solis says, today I put 2 everywhere. Yeah, it happens. We have those days where we want to use prepositions a lot. Yeah, what else could you do? What more advice can we think of to protect our identity?
Apparently you're supposed to also change your passwords every so often.
Yeah, so you could try, let's use that one. You could try with Ing, changing your passwords every...
You could try changing your passwords every...
I don't know.
Few months?
Yeah, maybe every 6 months or something. Yeah.
Some sites force you to change them.
Yeah.
For example...
The Mayas.
Login.
What else could we say to protect our identity? Oh, this is one which I do, and people have told me that I shouldn't. You might not, I'll make this negative, you might not want to send pictures of your documents via social media. Like, for example, sometimes I send pictures of my password via WhatsApp. And apparently you shouldn't, because it's easy to...
It's funny you mentioned this, because Sergio just said you shouldn't share your passwords with your family members.
Okay, I trust my family.
Bunch of hackers. There are a bunch of hackers. Do not trust your family. No, it's true though. It's true though. Because you never know. Like because maybe they don't do it on purpose, but they might, you know.
I guess. And Sola says, until you forgot your password. Yeah, so you shouldn't, or you might not want to send photos of your documents or your cards on WhatsApp, because I've heard that it's easy to intercept these messages. I'll write that word as well. I like that. To intercept.
Don't accept pop-ups. Yes, so especially on certain sites.
To intercept, how can I explain this? To block or to...
No, not to block, but to... it's when you...
Interrupt something?
Catch?
Yeah, maybe to catch or to... gosh, I can't really explain it. I'm just going to put to intercept.
Don't accept pop-ups. Yes, many sites have these very malicious pop-ups that come up and they try to get into your browser and so get your passwords.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And also, you'd better use you'd better not use simple passwords. So not password 123. So. Or very simple, or maybe your birth date. Like, don't use these very basic
I've
passwords.
heard the same, that you shouldn't use your birthday or your name or these things that are very easy to find.
Because they're the first things you try.
Yeah.
And it's quite scary to know the number of people that still use password as their password.
Yeah. Or just 1, 2, 3, 4 of them.
Yeah.
Sergio says you shouldn't save your passwords on public computers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a very good one, actually, Sergio. Because you never know who the next person will be to use that computer.
Exactly. Shall we move to the...
Yeah, absolutely. Let's look at some new vocabulary. So we have here some phrases. We are going to complete the phrases using the words at the end. So let's look at the first one. You shouldn't keep your passport in your pocket, otherwise snatch. I think this is a new word.
What is snatch?
What is snatch? Let's see if we have a prop that we can use. Here we go. We'll use the paper.
So
let's see.
Here's her passport.
This is me in an airport with my passport, and I am holding my passport in my hand. Aaron is a thief, a robber, and he will snatch my passport. So to snatch is a verb, and it means to take, but it's a very aggressive verb, okay? To take something aggressively.
By the way, Sola says, I don't know how, but someone hacked my Netflix account.
It's desperate times, Sola. These are desperate days. So
everybody's trying to get into
a Netflix account. So as we are reading through these sentences and doing some vocabulary, please write in the comments. Try to complete the sentences in the comments. So for example, you shouldn't keep your passport in your pocket, otherwise... Let's try to complete the sentence using snatch. Let's look at the next one. In crowded places, so places with a lot of people, you should always keep an eye out for. Can we explain what is keep an eye out for?
Pay attention.
Exactly.
Be careful.
Be aware of. So tell us in the comments, try to write a complete sentence. You had better check your credit card statements. You check your credit card statements?
I should, but I don't.
I never check my credit card statements. You had better check your credit card statements in case of unauthorized. Unauthorized? How can we explain unauthorized?
Well, it's the opposite of authorized.
Oh, nice.
Also, we get a first answer from Sole for
Very
a question for the first sentence. You shouldn't keep your passport in your pocket, otherwise a thief could snatch it.
Perfect. No notes, Sole. Absolutely perfect answer. Yeah, so unauthorized, so is that a something that you haven't given permission for? Yes, maybe unauthorized. I'll write that up as well while we read the next one.
The next one is you'd better choose a difficult password or else crack. So crack can have many different meanings, but in this case, when we're talking about a password or a code, it's when somebody guesses or manages to find out or figure out your code.
Yeah, so they crack your passport, means they break it and somehow they find it. Again, it's quite aggressive. Like by cracking something, if you think of an egg, for example, we take an egg and we crack it, we break the egg. Or we take a glass or another material that is fragile and we crack it, is to break it. So it has this, again, aggressive sense. So you'd better choose a difficult password or else crack. We'll see if we can complete this sentence.
Next one we have, you might want to log out from your computer to avoid something vulnerable. Vulnerable in this case is an adjective.
Absolutely. And well, we're sure you know what it means. It's very, very similar also in Italian. Something that is sensitive or fragile. Oh, nice answer, Sol. I think this must be for number 2. In crowded places, you should always keep an eye out for I think you misspelt this, Sol, your safety. Wonderful. That's really nice. I would also say keep an eye out for thieves, maybe.
Keep an eye out for pickpockets.
What are pickpockets?
Pickpockets is another nice word. A pickpocket is a specific type of thief who steals from people on the street just by taking things out of their pockets or their bags without them noticing. So not by stealing your entire bag, but just by taking something without you noticing.
It's a noun, so the person is a pickpocket. It's also a verb, to pickpocket someone. And as Aaron said, this is a very common problem in touristy cities, especially somewhere where there are a lot of people and where there are tourists who maybe carry a lot of money or have their identity documents in their bags. It's a big problem that someone can just put their hand in and snatch. Hey, there we go. Snatch some important documents or
exactly.
money.
I remember hearing that in Barcelona it's quite a big problem.
Yeah, but in a lot of very touristy cities it happens a lot.
Then we have, you could try ... shred.
I think we'll have to explain shred. Why did I write it with a capital? So to shred
it's when you cut something into very small pieces. You usually do this with important documents after they have expired.
Exactly. So you might do this. This often happens with contracts, with, as you said, important identity documents. We don't want other people seeing this sensitive information, so you shred these documents. So they are cut into tiny pieces. It's impossible to find.
So it has an answer for I think.
This is crack. So this would be the 4th one. You had better choose a difficult password or else a hacker
could crack your account.
Nice, that's good. I don't think you need because here, Solid. A password or else a hacker, okay? Because
and Sergio has another option. You'd better choose a difficult password or a hacker could crack it. Yes.
Exactly. Excellent. Yes. I've noticed that both Sole and Sergio make the same mistake. Can you see it? He says or an hacker, and Sole says an hacker. Be careful, guys, of your articles. In English, we pronounce the h, okay? It's a consonant sound.
Hacker.
So it's not an hacker, but a hacker, okay? So be careful of your articles and your consonant sounds with this letter H. Let's try another one. Keep giving us your examples. These are absolutely excellent.
Yeah, it's very good.
Let's try the next one. Do you want to read it?
Yes. To prevent anyone from something, you should rifle through.
Wow. So you put an. I don't understand, Sola. Could you repeat the question, because I'm not sure what you mean. Do you mean hair, like hair? Or do you mean air, like air that you breathe? I'm not sure what you mean in your question.
But in general, if it's before a H, the article is
a hair. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So rifled through. This is a difficult one, but we've got a phrasal verb here. I think it's a phrasal verb.
Yes,
if to rifle is a verb. To rifle through. Well, a rifle is a gun, but I'm not sure what the connection is here with rifle
I don't
through.
think it's British English. It's probably an American expression. I'm not sure.
I don't know if you're allowed to say that.
Why?
Well, you saw a rifle and you assumed it's American. Like, what is this?
No. It's just because I don't know it, so I assume it's American.
Oh, okay, good save.
Or maybe it's Australian English.
Maybe it's Australian,
no idea.
yeah. So with HR, you use an as article.
I don't know what you mean by HR.
Do you mean hair? Because if you mean hair, it's a hair. Is the article. Yeah, otherwise I'm not sure what you mean, Sola. But going back to rifle through, if you think of the documents on your desk, for example, if you're rifling through a pile of papers, you're making this movement with your hands to try and find a particular document. So maybe we can do this one as an example. Oh no, we have to finish.
Unfortunately, we've run out of time.
Unfortunately, that's it. So thank you all very much for joining us, and
have a great evening.
We'll see you all next time. Thank you very much. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.